So, I mean, Cody, this is almost like deja vu, isn't it? I mean, we were back here with you in December, and now we're here in March, and you're a winner again. Tell me about the victory tonight. And did, I guess, Brian bring anything to the table that you weren't expecting?
No, absolutely not. I mean, he did exactly what I was expecting, and I'm a little disappointed in myself because I didn't exactly have the performance that I thought I would. You know, I really looked at this fight as like an opportunity for me to absolutely break out and be like, oh, this guy's going to be the next champ. And I think that I left a lot of those questions unanswered. You know, I came out and I lost the first round. Clearly, you know, I had to battle back the rest of the fight. That's always really, really hard in a fight, to go, you know, and lose the first round, and then knowing that you have to win these next 2 rounds or you have to get a finish, you know, that puts a lot of extra pressure on you. So as happy as I am that I came out and got the win, I definitely didn't have the performance that I thought I would.
I mean, it was, I guess, nearly close on a submission at the end. Was that close? And I guess, like, were you afraid that he was going to sink that in?
No, the submission wasn't close. I think he was just going for, you know, like style points with the judges at the end of the fight. I mean, he didn't even have it under my chin. It was on my face. It was just like one of those weird scrambles at the end of the fight. I thought maybe if I got a takedown right there at the end, it might persuade the judges, because I felt like I won maybe the first 3 minutes of that last round, and then, you know, the next 2 minutes were kind of up in the air. You know, I was hitting him, he was hitting me, and then, you know, he got me on the cage, and, you know, obviously that's an advantageous position for him. So, yeah, definitely the most disappointed I've ever been, you know, after winning a fight.
I mean, your left eye's looking pretty tasty there. How many stitches did you get in that?
I don't know how many stitches I got. You know, I didn't think I could get any uglier, but I guess I just proved that wrong.
Takedown defense was on point tonight. Was that pretty much what you expected that his game plan was going to be, was trying to get you down? Yeah,
you know, Darren Cruikshank and Devin King, my 2 cornermen back here, these guys took that exact same shot on me a million times, and, you know, so I was at 100%, you know, I was well prepared. You know, my team and everyone, you know, came together and gave me absolutely everything I needed to go out and have a stellar performance tonight, but I didn't have that stellar performance. You know, to the takedown defense obviously was on point. I think Brian shot at me like at least 900 times that fight. I lost count at like 67, but he did exactly what I thought he'd do, and you know, 99% of the time I was prepared. You know, a couple times I hit my butt, but, you know, luckily, you know, the last time I was able to get up.
So as you were waiting for the judges' decisions, I mean, you said you thought you won the first 3 minutes of the 3rd round, and the last 2 were. How confident were you?
Well, I can't say that I was confident. I've been on the good and bad side of split decisions. You know, my last fight with Tom Duquesnoy, there was no question in my mind that I won that fight. And then when they come out and, you know, they say that one judge has the fight for Duquesnoy, I was kind of looking around like, are you serious? Like, who? Like, you know, who is this guy? I'm gonna go have a word with him. But you know, and my only loss as a professional was a split decision that I clearly won. I mean, probably more decisive than you know, the fight against Caraway or the fight against Duquesnoy. So, you know, I know what it feels like to be on the wrong end of that, so I don't expect anything. I'm just kind of sitting there like, God, please, you know, give me a break here. So, I mean, but I do feel like I did enough to win the fight.
You beat the number 7 guy. You kind of said it. You know, you said you were going to prove that you're among the best in the world. I mean, you feel like you're there right now. And I mean, does that mean that there's a name out there? Or is it top 5 you want? I mean, what are you looking for next?
You know, I was going to go out and call a bunch of people out. You know, and after that performance, I think I need to go back to the gym and I need to work my ass off and I need to get better, because that performance, and if I'm being honest with myself, that's not the performance that gets me in the top 10, that gets me into that contender range. And that's where I want to be, and that's where I have to be. That's where I see myself as an athlete. I see myself as one of the best in the world. You know, I'm going to be a world champion someday, and the performance I had tonight did not, you know, does not prove that, you know. So I won, but at the same time, in my head, I kind of feel like I lost, because I know that I have more than that.
That kind of one of the points. I know you had said that if you beat him, he's number 7, and you should be number 7.
Yep.
It says that you.
I mean, I should. I feel like I probably should be number 7 now, but
should be at least top 15 at least now, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I think you beat number 7. I feel like you should take his place, but I don't know how those rankings work. I don't even want to pretend to know how that works.
Do you feel like maybe some vindication here, because you've been pretty loud about being one of the best, and usually when someone comes in, you know, you kind of work your way, but you've been saying from, you know, the last 2 fights that you're one of the best, and now you just beat a top 10 guy. Like, okay, maybe the fight didn't go the way you wanted, or you wanted to be more dominant, but you're proving your point here with these wins.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you know, I always say that you're not trained to be the best in your best day, you're trained to be the best in your worst day. You know, tonight I didn't have a good night. I still came out and beat the number 7 guy in the world. I mean, that, should speak for itself. I don't feel like there's a lot of guys at bantamweight that can beat me. There's a hand, for the performance like that, there's a handful of guys that can beat me. But if I come out firing on all cylinders, I'm not sure there's anybody at the bantamweight division that can beat me. So I just got to regroup. I got to, figure out what I did wrong. I need to watch that fight. I need to study it. I need to come back. The animal that I know that I am, and I need to prove to everyone. And whether I get a guy in the top 5 like John Lineker, that's a name that I've tossed around and thought about fighting, or anybody in the top 15. Brett Johns is a guy that I could potentially, because I don't really feel like he necessarily belongs where he is. And there's a lot of other guys. There's a lot of other guys. I mean, there's so many talented guys in the bantamweight division. But I've always wanted to move up. I've always wanted to continue to climb. I didn't want to be one of those guys that, would fight a tough guy and then, do okay and then go fight nobody and never go anywhere. I wanted to be a guy that literally swept into the bantamweight division and was in that contender series, kind of like Cody Garbrandt did.
Just curious, you and Daniel Cormier squash or beef?
I never really had any beef with Daniel Cormier. That it was just basically something I said. I was like, after I watched it, I just watched the fight for the first time. I heard the commentators, they were kind of dogging me and saying that like I couldn't, compete with Duke and Juan on my feet, and I was like, a little butthurt about it, And in this sport, being butthurt, is not like, don't ever do that. You shouldn't ever do that. And so I got on the radio and I was like, yeah, I feel like they owe me a little bit of an apology because they were really biased, blah, 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 blah. And then I just got all kinds of help for it. People are, calling me every name in the book. And I'm like, well, I deserve that. This isn't a sport for crybabies. And, I learned my lesson pretty fast. But no, I never really had any beef
with him. But he did apologize, right?
He did. He didn't have to, but he did. Daniel's a good dude. Joe Rogan too, they're just doing their job. I know better than to say dumb shit like that. Are you anxious
to listen back to the commentary for this one?
No, I learned my lesson there. I don't care what they say. I don't care if they're dogging me the whole time. I won't be mad at them for it. They're just doing their job. But I think they might be a little nicer to me. I got to see the fight though. I mean, my eye's pretty messed up. I think maybe I did get hit a little more times than I thought I did.
How many stitches?
I don't know. 12? 12 stitches? Really? It's completely numb. I can't feel anything. You can smack me. I wouldn't even know.
Cool. Thank you very much.
We good? All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you.